The small village of Ravens Hollow was known for its quiet, fog-shrouded mornings and its ancient stone cottages. Hidden deep in the woods, far from the main road, stood an old mansion that had long been abandoned. It was a grand Gothic structure with towering spires, ivy-covered walls, and shattered windows that gave it a haunted appearance. Locals avoided it, sharing stories of strange occurrences and disappearances linked to the place. The most peculiar tale, however, was about a mirror that supposedly whispered to those who dared to look into it. Nobody had entered the mansion in decades, but its legend had intrigued Lydia Hawthorne, a historian who had just moved to the village. Fascinated by the mansion's dark history, she decided to investigate. Lydia was drawn not just by professional curiosity, but by a deeper, almost inexplicable pull toward the house. She had heard the whispers of the mirror, the way villagers spoke of it in hushed tones, but she dismissed it as folklore, convinced that the mirror was simply an antique relic. One cloudy afternoon, Lydia gathered her notebook, flashlight, and camera, then set out toward the mansion. As she approached, the mansion's towering figure loomed over her, casting long, eerie shadows that danced with the wind. The iron gates creaked as she pushed them open, and the overgrown path crunched beneath her feet. Stepping inside the mansion, the air was heavy with dust and the smell of decay. Cobwebs hung from the high ceilings, and the wooden floors groaned with every step. Despite its disrepair, Lydia couldn't help but admire the mansion's grandeur, imagining how magnificent it must have been in its prime. She walked through the corridors, past long-forgotten furniture and broken chandeliers until she reached a grand ballroom at the back of the house. In the center of the ballroom stood a large, ornate mirror. Its frame was carved with intricate patterns of twisting vines and strange symbols Lydia didn't recognize. The glass itself was dark and dull, as if it had absorbed years of shadows. Despite the thick dust that coated the surface, Lydia could faintly see her reflection. She approached the mirror, feeling a strange sensation in the pit of her stomach. Something about the mirror unsettled her, but she couldn't look away. It was as though the mirror was drawing her closer, urging her to peer into its depths. As Lydia wiped the dust from the surface, she noticed something odd. Her reflection seemed delayed. When she moved her hand, the reflection lagged, as if it were struggling to catch up. She blinked, and for a brief moment she thought she saw a figure standing behind her in the reflection, a shadowy silhouette just out of focus. Heart pounding, Lydia spun around, but the ballroom was empty. She laughed nervously, telling herself it was just her imagination. But when she turned back to the mirror, the figure was there again, clearer this time.